changed it recently where you used to just be able to do it on OBS. All right, I think we're going now.
Is it up?
Are we up?
Oh, it's live.
There we go.
I'll
Hi,
check
everyone. And welcome to this weekly Wednesday live stream. It hasn't been as weekly recently because we've been doing a bunch of cons basically back to back. But we did find a week where we're free. Well, thank you, Fernando, for subscribing.
Thank you, Fernando.
And we are going to be drawing some cats today. So we're going to be gone again next week. We're going to be at DragonCon in Atlanta. But we figured let's have a stream today. And then when we get back the week after, so September 7th, we'll do the foliage stream that you guys requested in a similar format as today. So officially, hi everyone, I'm Timothy Von Rueden, better known as vonnart Online, and I'm joined by our wonderful moderator today, Josh.
Hello.
And like I said, we're going to be doing these cat studies. We're going to be doing a format of 10 cats, and I mean, they're all of Astrid and Casper, but we're going to be doing 10-minute studies of each picture. There is a link below. It is a Dropbox link that you can download the PST, and I'll also have the little cat picture that we're drawing right under our heads in the stream below there. And if you are a Patreon backer or a YouTube member, you can also follow along today and then post your final results in the Discord, and you will be shown on stream. So if you want that extra little bonus, you can either subscribe to the membership below on YouTube, which I think is just $2 a month, or the Patreon, which you get way more with that, and especially with Drawtober coming up. I've already posted who my main character is that I'm doing for my Drawtober this year, and I'm hoping for it to be a graphic novel style, like a manga almost. I don't want to spoil too much, but I have a lot of plans in the work. I really started getting going a couple weeks ago, and then even last night I was up really late trying to figure out how to do some of the pages, so I'm excited to share that with you all. Anyways, the only other announcements we have before we get started on our studies today, we have a Doro Hey Doro print that will be a flash sale starting tomorrow at probably around 5 p.m. Central Time, and we're only going to be selling this for 48 hours, and then we're never going to sell this again. So I think I might do that sometimes with my fan art pieces, where we'll do like a big flash sale because, yeah, we sold the original pretty much right away, and I had a lot of DMs asking if we could just please do a print of it as well. So if you're one of those people, now's your chance. So yeah, this will go on sale starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time. And then I think I might do something a little different with the gold that I added on here. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I might not do like the bigger bubbles. I might just do more of like a pollen dot edition. And as always, if you want to put where you're watching from, I forgot to mention, please put it in the comments, and then we'll give a shout out before the people, or while people are still joining in. And if you, I'm reading all of these comments right now.
I just like Tigil's, please don't type Casper, the poor thing has been through enough.
And then just be sure if you are doing it, just put @vonnart. Well, I guess now that we have Josh today, I mean, you still should, but yeah, put @vonnart or what is it, Schwa Plays Games?
Schwa. Just Schwa.
@Schwa.
Just @Schwa.
And that way we can make sure to get your comments or your question, because we will do our best in our ability to answer any question you may have. I think I had 2 other announcements. Where's my little... Yes, I got 2 more books from the latest con. I'm always excited to show these off.
Tim got more books? What?
Both of these were blind buys. They were wrapped, but I had a good hunch about them, and they are both phenomenal. So the first one is Fantasy Worlds Behind Shop Doors. And as you can tell, the cover is just very eclectic and witchy and
grab my
cottagey.
books.
Oh, no.
Look, I got the boyo somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that was good. So it's basically a collection of photos of people that like super decorated their homes to be these eclectic, witchy, and nature embodied homes that obviously I really like. And there's a little bit of a macabre, almost surreal take on how people decorated. So this is really fun. Like even like look at this dandelion ceiling on a dandelion table. It's really wonderful for even inspiration, especially if you do more fantastical kind of settings and environments. I just really like it. And it has a bunch of different themes that it kind of goes throughout the book. So this one I would definitely recommend, especially if you're an environment artist or if you're looking to add a bit more flavor to your settings. I think this one's great. And then the other one that I got, I've been following Akishi for a while, and when I saw that they had an art book online, I've been like waiting to get my hands on it. So I finally found it at Kinokuniya in Seattle, and I'm telling you guys, this one is phenomenal. So he is a sculptor. It's kind of hard to see with the glare on the camera, but he sculpts these fantastical beasts and crazy detailed sculptures that are just almost mythical and folklorish in their creation and like composition. And there's just so much story that seems to be bleeding out of these creatures that you just want to get to know. Where are they from? What are they doing? What is their purpose? And this was definitely one that I would say is like a 9, if not a 10 out of 10 book. I think this one is just absolutely phenomenal. I know I'm going to be looking through it a lot throughout my life as I continue to look for inspiration within books. And it's these type of books that make me, like look at this one, so happy to be kind of an art book collector, because I think this really shows off quality as well as like a good amount of quantity within the book. I mean, it's a pretty thick book for what it is. And like, look at the composition of a lot of these. They're just so well done. And to know that they're all handmade makes it even better, knowing that, you know, every little scratch and every little whisker or hair detail was put in by a hand that was really focusing and had an attention to detail. So yeah, this book I would highly, 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 highly recommend. I think it's a little pricey. This one was, I think, like $50 or $60. But as you can tell, I am definitely one of those, I would say, well worth your money.
So are you posting the characters on Discord? Everyone's just asking.
There is a link below on the video.
Oh, yes.
It's a Dropbox link, and it has the PSD. And I numbered the layers, so you'll be able to see which one we do in order.
So my books I got this weekend.
Oh, you have a lot.
I do not have a lot. The first one's just gorgeous. Our room, we were in a bed with Tim and Babs Webb, and I read this one out loud to them, but it's really cute. I'll just show my favorite pictures.
You want me to do a flip through it?
Oh, yeah. We'll just show the book's so cute.
So it's a Final Fantasy 14 book, apparently.
Look at the little otter. It's Otter. Oh, he's so cute. Just show the picture of him crying near the end, though. It's his little tears. I think it's one more page. There we go. Look at the little tears.
Oh my gosh.
This is one. Tim got me this one because I read their other book and I really liked it. So it's like a mix of artists. It's Matt Rockefeller, Boyasan.
These three. And then these two wrote it.
Yeah.
Or these three.
The writers do a really good job too, because the stories I feel like are very intriguing.
This was the same artist that we showed, what was it, 2 weeks ago with the Chasma Warriors?
Yes, yeah.
Or Chasma
Warriors.
Was it Chasma Warriors?
I think so, yeah.
And they had this book as well, but it sold out when we were at Otakon, so it was crazy that we saw them at Emerald City again.
It's part of a series, and there's 5 books total. So I got the first 3, and then I'll get the last 2 as I finish these.
I do want to do a side note. If any of you ever make a hardcover book, try to make the inside cover like just as intriguing as the, what are these called?
The sleeves.
The dust jacket? Is that it? Sleeves. I think it's called a dust jacket.
I've never heard that before. I've always heard just sleeves.
Because I know for me personally, I actually don't like sleeves on books. And even like my Cosmos one, I want to take it off because I kind of like the sketchiness of the cover of this, but I feel like it's not a good representation of what's inside. So I actually really like this cover better, but I actually prefer when there's no dust jacket on books. But anyways, okay. Are you guys ready to get started here? You ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be doing one at a time. If you guys have the PSD pulled up, it's going to be the one that's literally below our faces right now. It's Astrid in a facing behind pose. So if you can't open the Photoshop file for whatever reason, maybe you don't even have Photoshop, don't worry, I'll be pulling the images below under us, and you can follow along that way as well.
People are just asking quickly too how to open the file without Photoshop.
You know what? I'm going to have Josh submit. I'm thinking of a way to do this quickly.
Oof.
Are these the 10?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 there.
I mean, I guess before each one, if you want, like as we're going between each study, Josh, if you want to save out each one and then drop it in the Discord. So it'll be a little bit of a hassle. Sometimes forget not everyone has Photoshop just to open files right away. That was my bad. Well, it's you. I thought that was one of the cats. Okay, so we'll be posting each one individually on the Discord. So it is under Stream Follow Along channel. And could you, what?
What's up?
That noise.
What was the noise?
Your foot rubbing against the...
Oh, sorry. I feel like I like need biscuits like cats do with my feet sometimes.
Alright, you guys ready? Let's do this. Ready?
All right. So we're doing 10 minutes for this one.
Yes, so
Timer's
you've got the
right.
timer and the comments then, basically.
Okay. Everyone ready?
Actually, before we start, though, I should say the only tips I have is make sure the first, 2-3 minutes are really focused on getting a proper shape and an understructure of the drawing. And then the remaining 7, try not to hyper detail, don't focus on every strand of hair or every whisker. Instead, try to get good values and get the shaping within the shape that you created, or the outer shape. And maybe the last minute, maybe last 2, you can add whiskers and details, but I implore you to try to get the structure really well done and created in this. And if you want to work on something personally, if you want to work on being more gestural with your drawing, really try to push that. If you're trying to work more with light and shadow, really try to have intention going into your studies, so that way as you're working, you get a result more close to what you're looking to work on or achieve. Okay, is everyone ready here?
Everyone's ready. All right.
Okay.
Tigel's going to save those out for me. So thank you so much, Tigel.
Thank you, Tigel. Thank you.
All right. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit here.
Oh, we're going to be talking about cats a lot this stream, I feel like.
So when I like to start out, I kind of do the same thing I do with people, is I'll usually create shapes very lightly to kind of to give a distinctive structure that I can build up from then. And I don't know if any of you guys know Cynics on YouTube. He tries to work more with straight lines, and I find with animals, for some reason, that seems to work better for me than with people. So I'm going to be doing some of that in the early stages.
Oh, Oscar's here. Hello, Oscar.
Hi, Oscar.
I bet there's a reason we're doing cat studies is because Tim figured it'd just be easier to draw what's in front of him while he's drawing. Or sorry, I botched everything up there. Sorry, Oscar. I bet the reason we're doing cat studies is because Tim figured it'd be easier to just draw what's always in front of him while he's drawing.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the, how do I explain this? So I don't want to spoil too much, but I have a lot of drawings that I want to do this winter that are focused more on the home and specifically Josh and I's house. And one of them is I really want to do 2 really nice cat portraits of Astrid and Casper. And for those of you who are new to the stream, that is the subject matter. For today, we're going to be drawing our lovely calico Astrid and our black cat Casper. But I really want to do more things for around the house. And I was like, oh, you know what? Doing a cat study would be a great thing to do with the community, because I think everyone could use a good animal study session. And I think most people like cats for the most part, unless you're in that small minority that absolutely hates cats. But I would say for the most part, most people like cats. So, and they're always right in front of me. So yes, you are correct.
Just a reminder to the photo is posted on Discord under the stream follow along channel.
Yes. And if you're watching live on YouTube, we do have the reference under as well.
All right, let's see here. Tidgel, I thought we were going to have a guest today. When is Jinx moving in?
Ah! Yeah, we got to meet Jinx Monsoon at Emerald City Comic Con, which was really wonderful. It was really quick, though, but it was pretty wonderful still.
It was very quick. She was very sweet, though. She was, like, complimenting every person that came up on something, so I was very impressed. That just seems like the type of person Jinx is, though. She'll, like... she'll find ways to compliment or make people feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Felix says, I just shot some reference photos of our cats. Now I'm debating whether to draw our Lily or Astrid.
I mean, if you want to do your own cat studies, like, you are more than welcome to. I think this was just more of, like, an easy way to have, like, a collection of references that I'm going to be working on if you want to, like, compare and contrast. But, yeah, if you want to work on your own kitties, feel free.
Try your babies. Oh, Astrid, though. She's so cute. Yeah, Astrid loves... We have a huge cat tower in our back room. And she kind of has claimed the highest rung on it. She will not let Casper up there.
Mm-hmm.
Although he sneaks his way up there sometimes. I got that announced. Jens, you should totally have Casper be in here and be a live model. Nothing bad will happen.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make his way in at some point today.
He'll sneak in.
He just knows when we're streaming and likes to get some attention.
And laid exactly right on top of the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been kind of sad, though, because we've not really seen them lately. We're on what? It's been kind of sad, though, because we've not really seen them lately. We're on what? We just did 3 in a row for counts, right? And then we have our 4th coming up next week.
Yes.
So yeah, we've just not been home a lot, so it's kind of sad, because I feel like the cats get, like, a little less than a week with us home before we have to leave for the next one. They get a little clingy. Oh, I know it'll be fine, but... Look at Astrid, though. She looks so sad.
Yeah, but she always looks sad.
Oh, no, she does not.
Oh, you know what? I made her mouth way too long. So, being the first drawing that I've done today, I can already tell I'm a little rusty, and I gotta wake it up. So how much time we got left? 5 minutes?
Yep.
So what's good is constantly be analyzing and critiquing your spatial awareness on your drawing and making sure that things are in proportion, and if they aren't, you really should just fix it right away. Because this can throw off an entire drawing, especially if you leave some of these proportion issues till later in the drawing, because it's much harder to fix it later than if you just try to fix it right away.
Yaki Woo's here. Hello, Vonnart. I bought 3 of your drawings in the Gen Con at Indy. Really love your style.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you had a good time at Gen Con, because we had an absolute blast.
It was so good.
And having not been there since 2019, like, I really missed Gen Con. I just really liked the show. And yeah, it was I feel like especially at Gen Con, a lot of attendees go there to get art specifically. So I always feel very welcome and supported by the community at Gen Con. So thank you.
Should be the same too at Dragon Con also.
Yeah, Dragon Con seems to usually have that vibe too, where like a lot of people that attend want to support the arts specifically.
Jen says, I think straight lines work better with animals because we might be blind to finer details for animals, like expressions and such, and therefore we stylize them.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Oh, and Candor's here.
Hey,
Hello,
Candor.
hello. How is everyone? I cannot stay long, so I won't draw long, but I wanted to say hi and stay a little.
Well, hello, hello. Yeah, no, it's always super late for you over there. And I usually try to have the lines that I plop down go in the same direction that they do on the actual cat. Oh gosh, looking at the live stream. Oh, it's so elongated.
Oh, no.
That's the one thing I will say I don't like about live streaming is having a camera above the drawing. Everything that I draw tends to be at an angle, and it just is so elongated.
We probably could eventually get you set up with a stand that sits up, and then we have the camera more behind you. Somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know how we do that, though.
Just to give it a little bit more direct on for you.
I mean, I might use it kind of like a tablet, and this is kind of weird. I'm going to look at my screen while drawing.
Oh, weird. I don't have the coordination. I would be all over.
I mean, I definitely have that digital art background in my blood still.
It's just like using a tablet.
I mean, weirdly, it kind of is.
Oh, Felix is asking, are we doing head only? I'm doing full body and panicking.
Oh, no, you can do full body. It's whatever you kind of want to do with these studies. I'll probably do more full body as I get more warmed up, because as you can tell, I clearly needed a second to kind of get into the groove here. Oh, I feel so weird drawing without actually looking at the drawing.
You're doing it.
It is
Tim
very
using
bizarre.
his traditional tablet. Alright, we've got 50 seconds.
Alright, I think now I'm just going to add some of these whiskers.
Kitten Island. Welcome, Kitten Island. Do you ever have to cope with drawing while enduring hand pain, such as tendonitis, carpal tunnel, trigger finger, etc.?
Sometimes my forearm gets a little locked up a bit. I do try to not only stretch, I try to eat pretty well, and then I do some hand stretches that I try to do almost every day when I'm like just not thinking about it as much. I'll just like instinctively just start doing the stretch. But I'm a very light-handed artist, so I'm not pushing down on the paper too hard.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
All right, that was definitely a warm-up.
All right. Well, our friend Kat showed us how to. It was like a massage. So if you have a friend or significant other, it's essentially just like have them kind of go up your arm and just put direct pressure on points going up your arm. I'll do this to Tim once in a while. And I use my computer a lot too, so it actually helps a lot with that. It hurts, but literally just like one point of pressure and just hold it there. And then you can occasionally like move it up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it hurts.
All right, for number 2.
All right, let's make sure. Oh, thank you, Tigil. On top of
Tigil's got number 2 posted.
You are the
Good
best,
work, good
Tigil.
work.
All right, let's get this. All right, 10 minutes is on the clock. Pancho's out there ready. 3, 2, and 1.
So Casper is our black cat, and he's going to be a little harder in some of these poses because he's black, and he's very hard to see in, especially, I think I took out all the night photos, but it's like almost impossible to separate where his head begins and where the background ends.
You just see 2 eyes, essentially.
Essentially, for real. But yes, Casper is our newest baby, and I love him so much.
Baby Casper.
All right, I'm going to try to do this and make sure it's not elongated. So you'll kind of constantly see me do this. So if you ever see me do that, it's because I'm looking over the camera here.
Oh, Hannah's here.
Oh, hey,
My
Hannah.
best friend Hannah. So I got to hang out with Hannah and her wonderful boyfriend Eli when I was in Seattle for Emerald City, because they live out in Tacoma right now. And then my friend told me that she's moving back to Wisconsin. And
Mm-hmm.
I kept saying in September. I don't know at first, but it's gonna be in April, right, Hannah? End of March, early April. But yeah, I gotta have her back here. It's so nice. I don't have that many friends, so for my one friend to move out to Washington State, which is like miles upon miles away, it's gonna be really nice to have Hannah nearby. Oh, Barbara's here.
Hey, Barbara.
It feels very rusty. I haven't drawn for a few days, and it shows.
I mean, low-key same. I was doing a lot of thumbnailing last night for the Drawtober stuff. But I just want everyone to remember I don't like draw animals a lot anyways, so you're kind of seeing like legit studies for me because I'm kind of learning how to draw cats still. I feel like I've only drawn, like besides these two Astrid ones I did before the stream, and I did those like last week. Honestly, I feel like it's been only 2 cats that I've ever drawn in my life.
Are these two?
No, it was 2. It was the one that I used for the promo picture for the stream, and then and they were both commissions actually for other people.
Oh yeah. I mean, you did the one, the little Astrid. I think is it on our whiteboard still?
Well, Chibi, that doesn't
I mean,
count.
the chibi Astrid. It's so cute though. Oh, new stretching video hosting Josh soon. And we could. Actually, Cal would be good to have on that though too, showing like stretches you can do if you have someone else around you
I mean, yeah.
with a friend, significant other. Because that arm one does feel really good. Oh, Demon Keeper, hello, good to see you again. Popped in to lurk for a bit. Speaking of kitties being mischievous, one of my fur brats, I like that, fur brats, carried off my mono eraser Monday night at some point. Typical kitties wouldn't be the first time.
Sounds like a cat move.
Casper doesn't take your, oh my god, kneaded erasers ever, does he?
Yes.
You don't think he eats them, does he?
Not anymore because I keep him now on my desk, but yeah, I think he's eaten one before.
I feel like if there's any cat we have that we might have to do one of those stomach suck out things on, it'd probably be Casper.
It'd be Casper.
He likes to eat dust off the floor too. I don't know. He's a very strange boy. Chris Mercretti says, "Are you gonna gold leaf any of these guys?"
No. I feel like for studies, I don't need to like glam it up with gold. I like to reserve that for like canvases or originals that I feel like could use a little extra gold. But I don't want to just use it for everything just because it's like what I've kind of become known for over the years. But I still do, I know it sounds crazy, but I still like to reserve it for like more special things. And I think the prints that we bring to cons, the only reason I keep golding them still is I still like the idea of the artist having like a personal touch to every print. And it's my way of kind of making each print feel unique, even though it is, you know, a print of many. It's not like a 1 out of 10. It's probably like a 1 out of 1,000 at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right, down to 5 minutes. Kendra says it's funny that Schwa shows out of all the pressure points you can use the one I always preach. Can we be any more twins? Yeah, that one just feels. If you just hold it right on this arm part there, it's kind of hard to do with this angle, but you'll feel it. But I feel like when you do it to someone else, or someone else does it on you, it definitely feels even that much better.
I mean, yeah.
It's like trying to tickle yourself. It just doesn't work. Oh, yes, Hannah's shooting for April. It's going to be so good.
Hannah, are you doing a few cat studies today, or are you just watching in? Because I feel like Hannah is also getting back into the art scene, and I feel like studies like this are great for like any skill level, honestly, because I'm sure a lot of people would put me like not at a amateur or like beginner level, but I think when it comes to drawing things that are new for me, like I never really draw cats, I have to treat it like I am new at this and like really try to be actively looking at the subject matter and picking up where is that underlying muscle structure, what is the skeletal structure underneath, why does the head look like this, why are the eyes so close together in this position versus the side view. And I don't think it's one of those things where you have to be like even an intermediate artist to jump in. If you feel like you've like barely drawn ever in your life, yeah, your drawings might be a little out of proportion maybe, but I think this is the best way to get better at drawing is just by doing it and do subject matter that maybe you're not akin to doing usually.
Casper looks like such a panther.
You know, he's beautiful.
Felix says, okay, I'm kind of cheating a little, but I'm taking a little longer for each one because 10 minutes for full body is not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to focus more on like their profile and their headshot.
Yeah, I feel like if we probably should just encourage doing that more because I feel like getting the full body would be really hard in 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think for originally I was going to do 30 minutes for 4 drawings, but I couldn't get a good profile shot of Casper, so I decided to do more of these like quicker 10-minute ones.
He's hard to take photos of.
He
like,
is.
Astrid kind of learned to butter up the camera a little bit. Casper still... he just likes to run all over. I feel like getting him to stay still is hard.
I mean, yeah.
Demon Keeper, I've got another mono eraser coming Friday, luckily. I'm thinking I may need to start hiding them. Might be a good idea.
I mean, that's kind of what I do. I keep them on my desk in like a thing that he can't really get in.
Yeah, he's not really chewed them much lately. You just have all the pre-chewed ones. Chris says you're doing awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, I feel like these are a little off. I don't know if I'm just tight with my drawings this morning.
Do you want me to do the arm massage for you?
No. Actually, yeah, for whoever was asking that earlier, I also now go see a masseuse, and it's this lady that works at my best friend's gym, and she is absolutely phenomenal. My body was actually shaking when she was done because she not only like does a massage, but she'll have you like pull your leg in weird directions and like push and flex. And I feel like I've stretched muscles that have never been stretched in my life before. So getting off of that massage table was electrifying. I felt like I could shoot static out of my fingertips. And I highly recommend that for just not even just artists. I feel like for everyone should get a massage every now and then just to loosen up some of those muscles and be more actively engaging with your physical health, because I feel like it's hard not to when you're like feeling all those muscles and pains just leave your body.
I did. I like threw my back out yesterday too. All right, time is up.
Oh God, that was horrible.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I might get a massage sometime here soon.
Okay, I'm not gonna let anyone see that one.
What? Tim?
We're just gonna do that. Alright, moving on, number 3.
That's your baby.
Whatever I drew was not my baby.
All right, reference number 3. Tigil got it posted. Thank you, Tigil. Oh, Hannah is doing these too. Yay.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Actually, Hannah, this is my favorite drawing of Astrid. Oh, sorry. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'm not moving fast enough for you.
No, we gotta keep going.
Oh my God.
So I try to pick different angles of the cats too. So we'll have some looking forward, some looking outside. This one's a little different because it's closer to the camera. So you got to think about the perspective that it's kind of getting as well.
This is one of my favorite photos of Astrid. This is my lock screen for a while on my phone.
Yeah, this one's cute.
She's so cute. Demon Keeper said... Demon Keeper says, I tried doing animals and it looks like one of the grandkids' scritchy scratches. There's a lot going on with animals, though. I think it's just the fur.
I know, there is. It's like the shape language is way different than a person. That's why, don't forget, for all of you who are doing this, remember, focus on those shapes first. Because I get into that bad habit, too, of trying to detail too soon.
It's kind of hard to see with the one ear because our composter is right above her. Oh, Demon Keeper has the same issue too, like with your kneaded erasers. You can't leave kneaded erasers out at all or their history. Found that out the hard way. My favorite eraser disappeared and that's no longer made. Oh no. Candor says, if you ever want to do a video like this with dogs, Puka is super photogenic. Puka has a thing too where you can pull out a phone camera and like Puka just knows what's going on. Because Astrid will like butter up the camera and I feel like she just knows.
Yeah, I feel like I could definitely do a dog study as well someday.
Yeah, I feel like dogs have really harsh like features. They're so cute, but like their snouts even and stuff.
Well, weirdly, that actually usually makes it easier to draw.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cats are just like too
It's
smooth.
when, like, technically, like, her face right now is just a circle. So then it's, like, up to you to do placement within that circle. Where, like, for a snout, like, it's very obvious where things lie because it's more of a shape that you can work with.
Oh, I guess, actually, yeah. Because this even Ingle, I don't even know. Her face almost looks flat, or you could make it look flat if you do it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, Tigils, by the way, I'm hereby handing in my notice. Going to mod in Yosho's Discord. I got your back, Tigil.
Who's Discord? What are you saying?
Wait. Tigil, are you doing the Photoshop pictures anymore or no? Because otherwise I can take over for you for that. Oh, I'm right. Tigil's kidding. Tigil, oh my god. Kitten Island says, thank you guys for the advice. My cat Filbert Snoot shoved my phone off the bed when you said it, so I'll be going back to hear it again after the stream. All these cats are acting up. They're like, why aren't you drawing me?
Yeah. You're right.
Demon Keeper, how's the gardening been going, by the way?
Horrible. Well, we didn't do a garden, a proper one this year. Actually, I shouldn't say horrible because I did a sage garden in the backyard and it is doing super well.
Yeah,
it's right outside my window.
You've been doing a lot of gardening this year still.
And then I have this apple tree that I planted, 6 years ago now? And admittedly, we have not focused a lot of our time and attention on it. But then this year, I really wanted to try to help it grow and heal because it got a spore infection, unfortunately, as well. And as of last week, it started sprouting these red apples. And we'll probably be able to eat them in like a week. But I'm still only having to spray them to make sure that the fungal spores don't go too out of hand. But then Josh and I literally got herb garden seeds yesterday because we want to convert an area of the inner wall of our kitchen into like a herb garden that we can just pick from year round. So we're going to be growing that soon. But we're thinking next year we're really going to try on the garden again and outside. Oh, and I guess I do have a pumpkin patch this year too.
Yeah, you did.
I do have quite a few.
Yeah, you did a few things. Actually, I have to cut the grass today, but then we can maybe. Did you spray the apple tree yet or no?
Mm-hmm. And dusted it.
Hey.
I'm telling you, I want this tree to stay alive.
Our peach tree's not looking the best right now.
No, but
I don't know what to do about that.
I have given so much time and effort to that peach tree.
Well, we were buying those fruit feeder things for it too.
I mean, admittedly, we've done a really terrible job in our backyard this year. Like, I don't think either of us have put a lot of time and attention into it because we were going through a lot of changes with a roommate moving out, and then it's been like a con every weekend basically.
We would have your parents water the garden. That's hard when you're like going out of town all the time. Because we're usually for cons, it's not just the weekend we're gone either. We usually leave like a Tuesday or Wednesday and then come back Monday the next week.
Oh, we never leave Tuesday though. It's always Wednesday or Thursday.
Cons. I'm just saying it's gonna be either those days. But yeah. But like Dragon Con, we leave
Wednesday.
Sorry, this thing just scrolls on me, and I don't know why it does that. It's easier for me to read it on the big computer. Alice says, I think the opposite. The foreshortening with the snout makes dogs so complicated to draw.
I guess if they were looking right at the camera, that would be really difficult. But I feel like most people draw dogs like at a slight profile, so you can kind of see the snoot. But you're right. If it was straight toward the camera, that would actually be kind of difficult.
Oh, Astrid. I just like the little line that cats have underneath their nose that goes down to their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They're very cute. Tigil says, sorry, I had to take revenge for that disgusting thing Tim posted earlier. Oh, the Casper drawing?
Oh. Yeah, not my best.
I thought it was cute. He looked very, like, panther-like. I liked it.
No, that was not good.
Demon Keeper says, foreshortening gets complicated and gives me a headache. It's still one of my favorite types of drawings to attempt.
Admittedly, it's not my forte, but it's good practice for sure because I feel like this is something I don't do enough of. I like very orthographic looking images, very flat, very like posed, and kind of have like a storybook feel to it. Where I feel like a lot of foreshortening and a lot of perspective angles is very modern. I feel like it's a more modern way of creating art, which is still really cool. I've seen so many artists do cool things with it, but it never really spoke to me as much.
Down to a minute.
Oh, jeez.
Demon Keeper, nice. I was wondering how it was going since I knew you were attempting to get one going. I have no help growing one here, and due to health issues, my last try to garden failed. Yeah, I think because it was just busy this year, we decided just not to even mess with the garden. But we will next year. We have some plans too. We want to change it up a little bit. The layout and stuff. We're thinking maybe doing like, what are those called? The boxed ones?
Yeah, raised.
The raised beds, yeah.
Or beds, yeah.
Oh. Did you know the disgusting thing wasn't the Casper drawing? It was on Instagram. I can't even say the word without gagging. The sad excuse for a piece of footwear.
Oh, the future, you mean?
Footwear.
No.
The future?
The future.
Of footwear? Oh.
Crocs.
I do like the Crocs, though. They are comfortable. All right. Time is up.
Oh boy, guys. Yeah, these are looking terrible. I gotta focus on this next one.
You got this, Tim.
Uh,
You got this.
Well, it's so sad when I look at the ones that I did last week. I mean, these are so much better. This looks like.
But how
I
long did you
was
time
drunk.
yourself on those? You probably gave yourself
Probably
a
like
time.
50. I mean, it wasn't that much longer, honestly.
All right, so. Do.
Back to Casper.
Do. All right. And then let me make sure. Tigil, you are the best. Thank you. All right. Starting in 3, 2, and 1.
Actually, I didn't realize I had these two too close to each other because it's kind of a similar pose. So I guess we're kind of getting a 2-for-1 here.
Tigil asked, all right, so real talk, building is burning. You can only save one cat. Who is it? Who's the favorite?
Casper.
Oh, you didn't even have to think about that.
Well, Casper's younger. He hasn't lived as long.
Oh my God. I'd probably take Astrid. But,
I mean, the thing is, being cats, I feel like they would make their way outside. Like, our cats have snuck out so many times that I'm sure if there was a fire and they were actually trying to get out, I'm sure they would find a way.
I mean, Astrid would figure it out. Astrid learned she could headbutt the window screen to, like, knock it out and then get out the window. She's done that before, so, yeah, I feel like she would be pretty good. Is there the option to get both of them out, but you're the one that burns?
Yes.
That's an option.
Yes.
Tim, if Casper and I were in the house, Astrid's already out, and the house was burning.
Casper.
Wait. Okay. If Astrid and I were in the house, Casper's already out. Would you choose me then?
Do I have to choose either?
Oh. All right, next question. I hate this question. Horrible question, Tigil. Oh my! I hate the scrolling thing. It's so intense. Okay. I think Demon Keeper says it's hard when gardening is one of your favorite activities you're no longer able to do or just too busy. It is, like, very relaxing too. I kind of missed it this year, not gonna lie. I think just having it, even like sitting outside and seeing the garden, I think was just kind of relaxing. But we'll get it next year. Felix says, I think extreme perspective often reads as photographic, which just doesn't work if most of your references are from the era before cameras, I feel like.
Exactly. Yep. When a lot of them back in the day would just draw it from life. So they would have a model literally hold a pose for a really long time. Where you're right with cameras, especially when you get close up to a subject matter, it does create this weird distorted perspective. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, but like I said, some artists are really good with using that to their advantage.
No Longer Human says, I used to do pet commissions. As much as I love cats, dogs are always so much easier to paint. Unless someone's cat was just like a friggin' runway model and had very sharp features, it was easier.
Oh, I'm surprised. I guess I've never talked to someone that did cat and dog, like straight commissions, where it was just like from a photo.
Hey, and they said they look good.
What did you say was easier about a dog over a cat? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, Wishy says, please give me a few seconds to save the rough span. Oh yeah, we can do like a little longer in between.
And I think after the 5th one, we're going to do a bathroom break. So we'll do like a 5-minute intermission.
Maybe just like stretch out for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Refill your jug. Ella, Casper looks like he's seen some things.
He always looks spooked or like nervous. Even when we first got him, I mean, he was an outdoor cat that was found in like the middle of winter, and in Wisconsin it's like freezing. So the first few weeks, he always just looked scared, or maybe not even scared, like surprised, like always surprised. And then once he started taking a liking to Astrid, then he got a little better. But the only time he still has that kind of like dopey surprise look is when there's new people around.
I think my favorite is when he's like in his crazy mood. His eyes, well, obviously, like, you know, cat's eyes get really, what is that? Not dilated. What's it called when they're like really big?
Yeah, dilated.
Dilated? Yeah. His will be like take up his entire eye. He gets so intense.
I mean, yeah.
Ella, not even hesitation. Tim is ruthless. Tell me something I don't know. Oh, Tim. I mean, I would not blame you for saving Ash or Casper over me, honestly, though. He's a good cat.
He's a very good cat.
Jen's the one question that would cause a divorce. Would you save your cat over me?
Oh, no, Josh already knows.
No, you'd be like, you can take care of yourself, Josh.
Yeah, also, why can't you get out of the building?
Because I threw my back out. It hurts so bad right now.
Oh, my God.
Oh. No, you take Casper, I'd grab Astrid, we'd be good. Oh, yeah, Ella, that's great. If Tim gets Casper and Josh Astrid, then that's perfect. Both get saved from the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Tigil, I thought they would go, oh no, I can't choose between my babies. But bam, instant reply. Hope Astrid wasn't around to hear that. Oh, yeah, Astrid kind of keeps Tim at a little arm's length, honestly. She does like to snuggle with you, though. I'll give her that. But
yeah, I was going to say, I snuggled with her this morning.
I know, but she keeps
I do like Astrid a lot. But she's also, what, 5? Casper's only 1.5. So I feel like Casper hasn't even lived enough.
He's got to be 2 years now, right?
He'll be 2 in October.
Okay. Astrid's birthday is April 14th. She's just a baby.
We didn't really know when Casper's birthday was, but we assume based on what the doctor for the vet first told us, he was born sometime in the fall of 2020.
Just a babe.
Or no, 2019, because we got him in February of 2020.
Wait, then how is he a year and a half?
No, he's gonna be 2. Wait,
Oh, coming up.
now I'm confused. No, is he gonna be 3?
He'd be going on 3 then.
I can't be having all these questions while I'm trying to draw this baby.
Okay, sorry.
Get confused, and I don't know where I am.
We should have done 15 minutes. This one's coming out really good.
Don't pander.
Okay. Oh my god. I'm trying to. I can always tell when Tim's really conscious about his drawing because he does get a little quiet.
Yeah, these are looking terrible today. Well, I guess this is a good, though, expression of, like, yeah, not every day is going to be your good drawing day. And especially when you do live streams like this, you just have to be comfortable with the fact that you're not always going to be hitting home runs. Because there was one draw, I forgot what stream it was. It was a couple weeks ago where I absolutely loved it. I've like the first hour, I already had something pretty decent. And then the hour after that, I just kind of got to do detailing and really make it shine the best that I could. And yeah, those streams are just kind of magical because then everything just comes together very well. But sometimes when you're doing studies, that's why they're called studies, you know? It would be kind of weird if it was perfect right out the gate.
Oh my god, I kind of love the drawing of those 2 drawings next to each other, though, of them.
What?
It reminds me of those, like, tacky shirts people wear.
Oh.
Like the Dwight Schrute one with the wolves.
Yeah.
I kind of want one with our cats like that. Felix or Oscar says, "Oh God, no! I'm drawing digitally, trying to get used to my tablet, but hell, I regret not drawing with graphite. I'm not gonna even post these. I'll just mess around and watch the stream instead."
Ah!
Oh, looks like Hannah's even struggling too. Dear Lord, my cats are turning out so bad. I need more time to be halfway decent at this.
I mean, like I said, this is good practice for having something done better than having something perfect.
Don't let this discourage you.
If anything, looking at my cats should be encouraging because they're like, oh, well, if even Tim's struggling with it right now, and who cares if mine aren't looking as decent.
Oh, shoot. I was going to keep behind that.
Oh, boy.
Time's up.
All right, so we got one
All
more, and then we'll take our break here.
We'll do like an extra 30 seconds right now just so everyone can get the next one pulled up.
So we're going to do the next Astrid one.
This is, okay, so.
I chose a slightly more difficult one before the break.
This one was one of my favorite photos I got of her. This was a pose I couldn't help myself, but after I took the photo, I laid my head in the little fluff pile, and she just accepted it.
Oof. You guys ready? This is going to be rough. Oh. Not every drawing is going to be a home run. Sometimes I don't even hit the ball. I mean, yeah, these are tough.
All right, everyone good? I feel like that should be enough
Actually,
time to
where's
get
my
it pulled up.
mechanical pencil?
It is on the Discord.
All right, I'll stick with this.
Thank you, Tidgel. Oh, Tidgel's personal favorite as well. Yeah, I love this one so much. Look how fluffy she is. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, so this one, I don't know how you guys are viewing this, but I'm definitely going to try to get the arm and then part of her face. And then maybe a little bit of the other arm and the foot. So that's the intention here. We'll see where it goes.
I'm sure everyone with cats knows too. I feel like cats have 2 different face forms. It's like they digivolve in between the two. But they either have the puffy face form, or their face will be like, fur will be like stuck to the skin, like thin face.
Mm-hmm.
So Astrid's kind of in puffy face form right here. It's hard to tell though.
I mean, yeah, very true.
Mm-hmm. Casper gets the puffy face sometimes too. Kendra says, have you ever seen the British show Portrait Master? I think it was called.
No.
I feel like I've heard. It's on Netflix, right? I think I've seen it.
It's a competition show for who can draw portraits the best.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, let me know, Kendra, if you know the name. I'm not, at least seeing it, not seeing under that name on Google. Or that's where you could watch it at, even.
Or is it a book?
No, it says it's a British. Kendra says it's a British show.
No, never heard of it.
I posted a Puka pic to prove my point in Photogalley. Oh, Puka. Hang on, let's go to these pet pics. Yeah, Puka has. Yeah, oh my god, Candor. Puka's got. Puka knows when the camera's out. Uh-oh.
Oh, you might have closed that window.
Oh, yeah. Neighbor's got the Harley out.
It'll stay out for a little while before he actually starts riding it.
Where else am I hearing that from?
Ooh, this is a weird pose, guys. How are you feeling about this?
Better?
Yeah.
Perfect. He likes to just rev up his Harley for the neighborhood to listen to. Light Lolly, it says this one's perspective is too extreme for me.
Yeah, this one's difficult. Like I said, it wouldn't be a study if we weren't challenging ourselves.
Seems like every one of these has been a challenge so far.
For me, yeah. Looking at my results, people will be like, oh, has he ever seen a cat before?
Oh my god. We have been out of town for a bit, so the cats are, they're not fresh in your mind right now.
No excuses. I need to get better at this.
Demon Keeper says, my daughter's cat, Lucky, knows he can pull the corners of the window screens to get them loose. Makes it hard on the electric bill when you can't have them open during the pleasant months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I literally watched Esther do it too. Kind of similar, actually, because she was focusing on the corner of it. But yeah, she was literally headbutting it. Like, you could have, I don't know, used your paw or something. But yeah, she was literally just nudging her head into it until it popped. She hasn't done it again, though, thankfully.
Yeah, actually.
Jen says, if you can't find the exit, you didn't want to live. Trixie Mattel. That's Tim's words to me on the way out.
Honestly, I feel like me and Trixie's comedy style is very similar. Because I'm very much like her, too, where it's like kind of a shock value, but mixed with quick, witty, and like slightly throwing shade. But then also, you have to be good at throwing shade at yourself, and then be complimentary when it actually calls for it, though.
Tidal says, "Poor Josh. Don't worry, I would save you. I probably also set the I probably also set the fire, so I'm not sure that would count as heroic." Oh, isn't there a name for people that do that?
There's that documentary about that one lady that said she was in 9/11.
Oh my god, yeah, that was crazy.
And wanted to be the hero even though she was never there. If you guys want a really interesting documentary to watch, there's a documentary about this lady who claimed to have been in the 9/11 attacks, and she had like burns and blah blah blah, and she talked about how her husband jumped out of the building while she was on a call with him or something, and she would talk about how awful it was seeing all the faces. And
Oh, Tanya Head.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's her.
Very interesting.
That was so bizarre. And then to find out she was nowhere even near it at the time, it's bizarre.
4 minutes.
How is it the one that's the weirdest perspective that I'm actually like, oh, you know what, this doesn't look horrible?
Ella says Tim is such an ageist. If you're older than 5, he couldn't care less.
Yeah. You're right. Like, you know how to walk?
Oh my god. Tijil says, I have this dream. Echwa, I have this dream and you might help make it happen. I want a drawing made by Kat, a self-portrait of herself. Drawing a cat, drawing a cat, drawing a cat, drawing a cat, drawing a cat. Kat could do it.
I know we still want to have Kat and Josh battle live in the art battle series that we're kind of doing right now.
We have to get it scheduled. What are you thinking, like September maybe?
Probably September.
Okay. So yeah, stay tuned. Next month, Kat and I are going to go head-to-head in a drawing competition. And I use the word drawing very loosely. Demon Keeper, there's no way I could do this one. It would break my brain.
Weirdly, I'm actually enjoying this one, and I did not expect to.
Because it's so cute. Like, you can't help yourself.
Yeah, but
Just
this
look at
is
this.
a very difficult pose.
These are poses you'll just find Astrid in all throughout the day. My favorite is when she'll like lean off the side of something so her head's kind of hanging off it. She's just a weirdo. Casper does interesting poses though when he like sleeps next to you.
I mean, yeah, he'll just try to snuggle up.
I have some funny photos of him with that.
I'm curious if anyone else is doing this pose. Is anyone actually enjoying this one? Because I'm like looking at this being like, Not bad.
Kitten Island says those cat drawings are effing beautiful.
I mean, these I actually thought were really good. These are the discount bin at Walmart.
Oh my god. And then Kitten Island says cats are liquid. They truly
For
are.
real.
Light Lolly, it says, I'm failing when it's just not in a side profile. Yeah, I feel like the number 3 and then number 4, I think were just weird angles to work with.
I can't believe out of all of them, this is the one that I actually like my
And
execution the best.
You even got her little toe binge.
Mm-hmm.
S3. Candor says, I have only seen it on YouTube. Let me look up the actual name. Oh, the series. Yeah, let me know, because that sounds interesting. And I'm sure Tim would be all about that.
I mean, yeah, I love competition shows. I binged all of the new Dragula last week, and I was super into it.
Felix says there is Portrait Artist of the Year from BBC. Oh, yeah, so the BBC does a Portrait Artist of the Year thing. It's on Prime Video.
I'll have to give it a look.
All right, we're down to the last second.
Hi, everyone.
All
We'll
right.
take a 5-minute break.
All right, you got 2.5 minutes. I have a timer for bathroom time.
Oh, yes. I'll probably go to the bathroom first.
All right, I'm starting.
Hi, that one I actually liked. That was bizarre. Here, what I thought would be like easy layup ended up being a weird miss, and then one that I thought was a half-court shot was actually somewhat near the target.
I feel like you needed this.
Let me go to the bathroom.
You needed this one.
The sleeping
Number
cat.
5. Number 5's bringing you back, Tim. Tigil, seems like all of these have been a struggle. Ouch, the library's open. I'm getting better at just opening the library, but I tend to like close the book really quickly and apologize, so I'm trying to get better at just throwing some shade out there once in a while. Chen says the average person has probably seen an animated cat way more than an actual cat. I could see that. We found this, we played this game where it's like this trivia game, and apparently it said, I think it was like 65% of Americans own cats, but I never agreed with that fact, because I feel like, if anything, I definitely think more people own dogs, in America specifically, over cats. But this game, the trivia fact was like, oh, more than 60% of Americans own cats. Oh. Kitten Island cat cheeks, whiskers can puff or fluff with their emotions such as happiness, alertness, and interest. Wait, so which is which then? Apparently cats can fluff their cheeks and whiskers based on their emotions.
Oh.
Alright. I'll be back.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to try just to fix this one. This one is so bad, guys. Like, what was I thinking? What is happening here? Okay. I think first off, if you're not feeling the pupils, like if the pupils are making the cat look like a little cross-eyed, I think just take them out to begin with, because I think they're very distracting if they're not in the proper spot. I think these ears are too tall. So I think it's good when you look at your drawing, not to be dismissive of the accomplishments you might have in the drawing, but when you look at it, try to really target what you think needs to be improved upon. And in this case, can tell that some of my proportions were a bit off. And I would definitely want to correct this ear, how it has that little slit going up the side. Yeah, how are you all feeling? Because I know we've had a few comments saying that this has been difficult, but honestly, it's kind of like working out your actual muscles, where if it's a little painful, that usually means there's some growth going on. And I remember that's what I was told back when I was in college, and that kind of helped me get through, like when we were doing harder drawing days where I was just not feeling it.
So I fill my water up quick, and then I'm ready to go.
I'm doing a fix.
Oh, you fixing one of them?
I mean, this one's so bad.
Oh my god, I almost knocked him off.
I might even stylize this with having shadows be kind of blocked off. See how that just adds a bit more of the dimension that I think I was missing the first time around. Like that. And I think for the face, I know I only have about 30 more seconds for this, but I think if I were to go in after the stream, I think the eye placement specifically on each of the cat studies, I would really go in and probably even with a smaller pencil, try to carve out better shapes, because I think having weird shaped eyes can throw off the entire cat, no matter how good the body looks.
Candor, if Cat drew a cat, would look like Sonic, and she would say it's the same.
I still say that to Cat all the time.
I generally think Cat's gonna beat me though, because Cat can actually draw better than I do.
I mean, Cat can draw pretty well.
Cat does good. That's why I feel like I need to find someone that can't draw at all like I do. We'll see.
Alright, I feel much better about that than the other one. The other one was like hard to look at when I could see it out of the corner of my eye. Okay, you guys ready for the second half here? Did Tisha post number 6?
Number 6 has switch channels.
Oh, perfect.
Yep,
Yes.
number 6 is posted. Oh, Casper, what a baby.
Let me get my Photoshop one up.
Casper has a cool nose ridge though. It like goes flat
He has
almost
a
for a
little
second.
bit of a bump.
Yeah.
He has like a fighter nose. Ooh, okay. And then drawing profiles facing right are usually considered harder than when they're facing left, because they go against the natural curve of your wrist motion. So you have to like pull it instead of just push. So this will be a good challenge for those of you who are right-handed. If you're left-handed, this might actually be a comfort compared to the other ones we've been doing. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Pencils
6.
look ready. 3, 2, 1, begin. Candor says, alrighty, I gotta head out because I gotta work tomorrow, but it was fun hanging out. Have fun with the rest of the stream, chat, and Schwa, and vonnart. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Candor.
And then before I go, I love how supportive Schwa is. Sighing when vonnart doesn't like something. Yeah, my hubby is here like, yeah, no, that's weird, you better start over. I'm not the best at constructive feedback. I'm working on it. I just know when Tim doesn't like something he's drawing, he definitely gets like really in his head about it though. So I feel like I'm trying to like pull him out of that. Be like, oh no, but Tim, that looks good.
Well, imagine, okay, equivalent would be, imagine if you're cooking something, right?
Yeah.
And you're making a cake.
Okay.
And let's say it comes out and half of it's black. Imagine if I was like, oh, that looks really good, babe. Like, wow, well done. You're really improving.
See, the thing with me, though, is I don't do that to my cakes. Every cake I make is perfect.
Tell that to your butterbeer.
Okay, that one I could admit was gross. I almost threw up drinking that. I made vegan butterbeer, from Harry Potter. And the butter didn't like absorb into it well either, so there was just like you could see
Just
the
chunky
chunks
butter.
of the butter floating in it. Y'all were being really nice. Well, no, some of you guys were being nice.
I was not.
Tim was not, but
Oh wait, no, I actually kind of liked it. You didn't like it.
it was gross.
And who was with us? They didn't like it at all.
Like, I
either.
would take a sip of it and start gagging. It was so bad.
I mean, I
Oh
didn't
my
think it was
God.
that bad, but I remember you feeling like that was the worst thing you've ever made.
I dumped like the rest of it. So I'm not letting anyone else drink this. Kent Island says, "Take a compliment, sir."
I think it's very hard for me to take compliments when I myself feel like it's not deserved. I definitely am one of those people who judge thing on like authenticity. So if something I draw, if I genuinely believe it does not look good, I like cannot mentally accept a compliment on it.
I love number 5.
5 I actually think was a pretty good study. I think I got the proportions pretty much there. And I feel like it reads as like the cat sleeping on the foot. And actually, even with this new one that I'm doing, I kind of like this one too. So, oh, you can't even really see it though. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. I think sometimes it does just take a little bit to warm up, and that's why when doing these streams, like I get in my head a little bit, but I just got to keep pushing forward. And with each one, I'm like, okay, come on, you got this, you got this.
I think 5 gave you that momentum you needed.
Yeah. And sometimes it will happen on drawing days too. So if you feel like you're having an art block day, I mean, everyone has different ways of getting through art block, but a lot of my way of getting through is just to push through and to find, like maybe even do a new drawing where you can find that level of execution that you're looking for. I remember I had a conversation with other artists about this, and it was Justin Gerard who taught me the idea of art block doesn't exist, or at least tell yourself that it doesn't exist. And that way, when you're going through a struggle, you can tell yourself, okay, well, I'm just having a tough time right now. I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom or get a drink or whatever it needs, and then sit back down. But the more you tell yourself, oh, I'm going through an art block and I can't draw today, the more you're going to manifest that into your life because you're telling yourself you can't do it. So it's very hard to do something when you've already confirmed in your mind that you cannot. So even with these drawings, I was like, okay, I know these look like hot garbage discount bin, but I'm going to keep pushing forward, and then I can go back and fix it once I find that flow. And I actually feel like I kind of found that flow now. I almost don't even want to color this one in that much.
Tim's coming in the second half.
I mean, I was always told I do come in the clutch.
Yes.
I feel like I typically tend to work better under pressure, but that's not always true. I know everyone's different with that, but I do like a bit of like competition pressure.
Mm-hmm. Felix. Oh, Lyra, hello, welcome. Felix says, I think that can't be true. Maybe if 30% of Americans own 2 cats. Oh, yeah, when you were gone, I was talking about that. Remember that trivia game we played and it said that apparently like 60% of Americans.
Oh, it was this crazy stat.
I mean,
I still don't know if it's true.
I know, I don't know. I don't really believe it.
I
guess there is an illusion that there's more dogs in the world because dogs people relatively take outside when they own them a lot. So like we do see dogs on our day-to-day more often when we're out and about than we would cats. So
wait, which one is more?
Well, from that thing, I would assume more cats then. If it's like 60
I
something
guess,
percent.
yeah, I would assume so, yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, I would like to think that there's more cats because I agree with you. You don't see them as much. And I think when people have cats, it's usually not just one. Where a lot of people, if they have a dog, it's usually just one.
I think people's lives are relatively busier nowadays too. So I think dogs, for a lot of people, are like, you definitely have to take care of dogs way more than you do cats. So there's that aspect too of like, if you want an animal to take care of, but you're busy, cats are going to be more of the choice people pick over a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
Jen says, if you remember my speech about artists and breaks, is that they use their breaks for more drawing effectively, defeating the purpose. But such is nature.
Wait, say that again?
Is that a Tim quote? Jen says, at vonnart, and then in quotes, if you remember my speech about artists and breaks, is that they use their breaks for more drawing effectively, defeating the purpose, but such is nature.
I don't know if I just can't concentrate on what you're saying right now.
I'm going to read it one more time, okay? If you remember my speech about artists and breaks.
Okay, if you remember my speech about artists and breaks, okay.
Is that they use their breaks for more drawing.
They use their breaks for more drawing.
Effectively defeating the purpose, but such is nature.
Oh, yes. I mean, honestly, when I get a break, yeah, I probably will be drawing more as well. You gotta remember, though, like, underneath, like, making a business and making money from doing this, living in financially independently, doing all these cons, doing projects, making card decks, making books, whatever, there is a genuine love for the craft itself. Like, I genuinely love drawing. So for me, getting a break usually means getting a break from like the business side of art. Because for me, I don't think I could think of anything more that I enjoy more than drawing. Like even playing video games, like yeah, it's fun, but I mean, even like last night, I easily could have played a game, but it's like I'd rather be drawing.
You do draw a lot.
There's something like I feel like I connect with not only myself more, I feel like I learn a lot about like imagination and where my mind goes, and I really like, and it's a really cheesy song, but it's something like I'm in love with my imagination, and I've always really connected to that song because I feel like it is fun exploring worlds and creatures and characters, and I can't really say what I'm doing for Drawtober yet, but last night I was having that battle of figuring out who they are. I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything. And making all the story elements that I'm trying to include connect and feel not only earned, but impactful when the reader reads it. And finding that out is like a journey that you take in your head, and it's like a fun adventure. That's why I don't really like traveling that much. I know this is kind of like the opposite of what probably a lot of artists say, but I'm definitely a homebody through and through, and I enjoy it. That's why I like books. I get art books all the time because, once again, it's like escapism without having to leave your door.
We're down to a minute.
Okay, I went more stylized with this one, but I was having fun with this one.
Ella says, but Josh, you've been absorbing Tim's art skills during these streams. You're more powerful than you think.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
That's
possibly.
assuming I'm paying attention.
Also facts.
No, I just can't. Like music, I picked up really easily. Actually, you can play piano well too. But yeah, I picked up piano really easily. Like anything music related, I picked up really quickly. But art, I just can't. My mind can't like look at something and know how to perspective and draw it. Just doesn't work for me. You're gonna be seeing a lot of flat, very messed up drawings on the Cat vs. Schwa stream.
I think I might just do some cross hatching to fade this one out.
Are we doing the cat vs. me one the same as the other ones where we picked the things though still or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, time up. Time is up.
Yeah, that was more of just like a fun exploration of a large chunky head.
Goodbye, Casper.
Bye, Casper.
Hi, Esdree.
Okay, so we got another foreshortened image of Astrid the Calico, and if I were you guys, I would definitely focus on getting that head shape first and focus on like a larger circle, and then the body would be like another oval circle behind it, and then push the ears, and then I would focus on the face. That would be like my suggestion.
Or just wait a second. Tigil's getting it posted. Thank you, Tigil, so much for doing this.
And then also, if you are working alongside me, and if you feel like you're struggling with the time right now, try drawing smaller, because like drawing Casper on this last one this big, it takes a lot longer for me to fill in the values than when I do something that's, this size. And I think being aware of scale and relativity is important when being efficient with time management, because if you try to do a really big cat study, unless you're using charcoal or like a medium that can do broader strokes, it can be very difficult filling an entire piece in 10 minutes with a small tip. So just a suggestion. All right, ready.
Okay. Give everyone a couple extra seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Oh, jeez.
Felix says no. Oh, sorry.
My pencil's being all crumbly. Sometimes the graphite gets a little crumbly, which is frustrating. I know I work with cheaper pencils, but I like to kind of show people that it's not the tool, it's the artist who holds them. But every now and then I'm like, graphite, why are you being all crumbly on me?
Felix says, now that I'm kind of okay with proportions, I also try to stylize at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stylized that last one quite a bit.
But I feel like you're definitely getting the proportions quicker now.
I have switched pencils. This one's getting crumbly.
Kitten Island says, I totally relate to not being able to take a compliment when you know you can or how to do better. But it's also important to find peace it's important to find peace, and that's reason to strive, in my opinion.
Yes. I think if you've met me, you will know, like, I take what I do very seriously. So, like, it's hard. I'm sure that would be better, but it's very hard for me to not see the flaws in it and then, like, accept someone calling it good. Because I almost want to, like, point it out for them. Like, oh, no, this isn't good. Do you see what I'm doing here and why this part is wrong? But then other things I think I would be able to point out and be like, well, in this area, I did this part right. So, like, I don't think I'm just super self-critical just for the point of being, like, self-loathing. I think you have to also be able to point out what you think you're doing well without being delusional. Because there are some people that have told me, or, like, showed me their work, and they'll tell me what they think they have done well, and I'm like, oh, no, that is not something I would say you did well.
Ooh. Yeah, you started some discussion on this, actually. The first... Oh, yeah, Oscar, I'm sorry, I missed your previous one. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Oscar says, Tim, I really don't know how to go about sketching or drawing at all digitally. Should I just use black, gray, and white to draw with, or use opacity and the eraser tool and layers?
Ooh, so this is kind of fun. I know what stage you're in for learning digital. There's different methods you could do. Honestly, I feel like I should do a different stream just on that, but you could just do the line or like a circle brush tool and use that, and try not to worry about color or values too much. Try to do more outlining. You could do pure value and lay it down thick and then use your eraser tool to kind of carve it out. Or there's a subtraction method where, yeah, you lay it out like intentionally too much, and then your eraser tool essentially becomes your main tool. There's a lot of things that you can do with digital, and I think you're kind of figuring out, oh, there's a lot of different ways to approach this, and finding out which one works for you. So just know that that's something that, like, all of my digital art friends, when we were in college together, we all struggled figuring out, like, wait, you're doing it that way? I'm doing it this way. So yeah, try to find what feels right for you, but keep trying as many different methods as you can.
All right, we're going to jump down here. All right, so Tigil. I'm going to try to read all yours at once, Tigil. So Tigil says, okay, this is part of a bigger discussion, and I'm not speaking about people who lie just to please. But if someone compliments your art, but you don't accept it, it feels like you judging and criticizing taste in art and what they deem to be beautiful. Also, as an artist, if you are impressed by someone else's art and they break down their own stuff that you like, you feel worse about your own art because it creates the thought of, oh my god, if you find your own stuff bad, what would you think about the crap I make? As long as a compliment is genuine and made with good intentions, I feel you should accept it in some shape or form. Shutting it down feels kind of rude to the compliment giver, or is it just me? I might overthink all of this way too much.
No, I definitely think you're accurate. I think I just have a comfortableness with being rude about art because I think when it's something that you're really passionate or take very seriously,
5 minutes.
oh God, oh, I'm trying to have like this serious discussion and draw all these cats at the same time. But this is something me and my friends talk about a lot, and you are right. And I think on a live stream or like when someone does give you a compliment, the end thing that we all decided was just to say thank you and just kind of forget about it. But the way that I look at it is I feel like just saying thank you can be dismissive because I feel like then I'm not allowing the viewer or whoever's giving me that feedback to see what could be better. And I feel like I'm not taking them seriously or like I'm seeing them as lesser because I'm like dismissing that they can't see what's actually wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like it does come across rude, but in my mind, it's like I'm trying to help them see how it could be improved upon so that if they're doing their own art, they don't make the same mistake. And yeah, it was a really interesting discussion I had with my friends about this too. And I do agree that yes, it does come across rude. But I think depending on who you are and how comfortable you are with that person, and I feel weirdly comfortable with a lot of you, I feel like I can be more genuine of like, this doesn't look that great though here. I think this could have been better. Not as in like a way to dismiss your compliment, but in a way for me to explain why I don't feel so great about it. Okay, I gotta work super fast.
Okay. Digital says, have you seen the anime Soul Eater? There's a cat in there who can change into a witch human. This is giving me those vibes. It would be a good idea for Halloween.
Have I seen Soul Eater? Of course I've seen Soul Eater. I'm a Halloween nut and now I've always somewhat been into anime, but I feel like recently I've just had a surge in reading a bunch of manga. I'm on the 4th volume of Berserk now. I'm on the 4th book of Witch Hat Atelier. I bought the first thing of Dorohedoro, and then I really want to read Chainsaw Man because I keep seeing it every convention we go at right now.
They were selling them at Emerald City.
I didn't see them where?
Or no, I'm sorry. It was at Kinokuniya.
Oh.
They had the entire, like, they had all of them there. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
I almost got it there, but I was in such a rush to find art books. I was like, I can't even look at manga right now.
Yeah. I kind of pieced through it. I don't think it's going to be for me, though.
It might be a little too manime, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Manimes. Kitten Island says, that's good advice in art block from earlier.
Oh, yes.
Oscar says, if that's hot garbage, I wish I could draw hot garbage.
See, I think that's where it comes off rude because then it's like I'm being dismissive of anyone that feels like they did a worse job than me. But I'm hoping it comes across of like, here's where I think I still am making mistakes in my drawing. I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes.
Then Ella says, I agree with Tigil, and the cake example doesn't really work either. It's as if Josh would make a cake that you'd think tastes amazing, but because Josh knows more about baking, he knows it didn't get as fluffy as it was supposed to be. But that doesn't mean it's a bad cake or that Tim complimenting the cake is wrong.
Well, no, the cake was actually bad. Like if it was like, imagine if it was a burnt cake.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but I think objectively, then anyone could look at that and be like, oh
Well,
yeah, that's not right.
I would
Art's
say the
different
same
though.
for
'Cause
art.
with baking, it's like there is a like line you could cross with baking that you just know it's not right then.
Well, okay.
Like if you looked at a burnt cake, you clearly know
Hold
it's
on.
not how the cake's supposed to look.
Well, I think when doing art and you're looking at photo references and studies, you can see if something doesn't look right.
Like actually, I mean, yeah.
But
if you're doing a
here's the
study,
thing, though. I think why giving critique like this, especially with art, is so difficult, and this is something else me and my friends have talked about, is because so many artists are so sensitive and emotionally invested and attached to their work that they can't separate the two from being objective to it being like an emotional connection. So when someone critiques someone's work, they're not saying that that drawing's bad. They're saying that you are bad. Like you as the artist, everything that you create is terrible. You as a human being is terrible. When in reality, they're just trying to tell you your proportions were a bit off.
Well, yeah, that comes down to like the person themselves having to learn how to like
But
handle
that's why I think
critique.
art specifically is weird when it comes to critique. And I think that's why sometimes I get nervous doing it online because you don't know how the receiving end is going to
5 seconds.
receive your. Oh, no, I actually like
Last
this
second.
one.
Go, 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 go.
Ah,
Ah. Okay.
there are just too many good discussions. Well, I'm glad we're having this discussion because, I mean, these are one of those real discussions that I have with my friends about the art world and like what you can and can't kind of do publicly. And I think talking, oh man, I did not do the perspective right on that though.
Yeah, it is definitely like something with artists that sometimes,
They're a little more
yeah,
sensitive.
because I think, yeah, if I bake something, I could objectively be like, okay, I added too much milk into it this time, or I didn't add enough, or I baked it too long, or not enough. Like the bread I made was great, but I needed to bake it a little longer because I could tell it was underdone in some
Oh no,
parts.
see, I would have said, oh, I really liked it.
But I know if I want to make a perfect bread to like really present or like impress someone that bakes, I just know it wasn't baked long enough. But that was me being lazy. I should have really checked if it was baked all the way through. But
Boy, we got a full page of cats now. I mean, this is a good. These are like one of those debates I really like because uh, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer necessarily. It's more of like an opinion based, and I think kind of similar to Mid Journey and like AI art creation. And I'm seeing that debate, and it's getting kind of heated.
oh, it's still happening. I thought people would have accepted it by now.
No, actually, weirdly, I still
love
get so
this.
many views on that YouTube video that I made a few months ago. It's become, I think, my second or third or fourth most watched video now.
Well, yeah, it's like an active discussion.
But the thing is, it's not so much the views that the video's getting, it's that I get like a comment every day still on it. And this is a video that's like 4 months old.
Well, I think though a lot of it has been concept artists right now, and I could see that.
Yeah.
Like I'd be
scary.
scared. It is scary. I mean, I think everything is gonna be really automated one day,
Oh,
which is scary. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin. Yeah, I feel everything's going to this. I mean, even yeah, if the art's already getting to the point where they can be automated, imagine like everything else a part of our lives. So it's kind of it is like scary for some people, I think.
I just need other artists hearing this to know though, like I was really nervous first when it came out too, but it's in the months that have followed, it's like I'm not almost nervous at all because it still does kind of give this soulless, lifeless appearance. Like, yeah, technically it's beautiful, sometimes, not all the time. But I truly believe art is like the combination of technical ability, creativity, and then like the artist's original input. And without the marriage of those three things, I don't think the viewer attaches themselves as much to the end result. And
But okay, pretend like someone is flat out lies to you and says, "I made this," didn't tell you it was AI at all. You had no inkling that it was AI. Would you actually look at it differently then, though, and be like, "Wow, this is actually really thoughtful," or "There's a lot put behind this"? Because I think sometimes there's the illusion of that. But if you were led to believe that this was something someone actually handmade, let's say they said I made it with oils or something, but it was an actual AI one.
well, see, then that's where it comes back to it's not authentic. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, but I mean, as someone like a critic or looking at it, would you actually see it in a different light though than if they flat out just told you it was AI? Would you approach it differently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know is like taboo because it's like, oh, well, if it's the means on getting to the ends, why does the means matter when it's just the tool to get to the result that you wanted in the first place? That's a whole nother debate that we could have.
Yeah, that's a
But
different.
in my mind, when I look at like the artist's intention and what they're trying to create, I try to see what soul is behind the piece. Like what are they trying to get across with their drawings? And a lot of the times, especially in the social media age, it's very much like, oh, this drawing was created so that I could gain views on my reels and I could double post on TikTok. And it's not a lot deeper than that. It's a lot of like surface level thinking. And I think it's really hurt the illustration world and the art world in general because I don't see a lot of artists speaking like their truth or putting their experiences into work that feels expressive as much anymore. And I think with AI art, in my opinion, I think it's so obvious when people are using AI art now that if you know what it is, I feel like it instantly becomes unimpressive. Um, at least in the art world and the artists that I've talked to, if 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 someone follows an artist and they're like, "Hey, look at this artist I follow. They do really great work." And if you show me one and it's all AI art generated page, I'm not going to be really impressed. I mean, that's also a personal thing, and I guess it's, all art's relative and subjective and blah blah blah. But I know at least in the art world that I come from, and a lot of the friends that I have in the art world, and a lot of the ones that I still think are genuinely like some of the best in the world living today, none of them look at AI art and it was like, wow, that is.
I mean, yeah.
Like you typed in those prompts.
Good job.
Like, holy crap. As an inspiration generator, though, I think it is phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like I'm harping on AI too much. I think as an inspiration generator, it is absolutely phenomenal. But I do think it's very easy for an artist to get lost in the sauce and just stay on Midjourney or whatever AI thing and just be on it for hours and hours and hours and then not actually make anything themselves because they got, lost in it.
I think it could be discouraging to someone that's like sitting there trying to think of something, but then you can just type in words and it creates these things. I think there is like an excitement to when you create something completely on your own, from like your own imagination,
Actually,
your own place. I think there's something exciting about that. I get that when I do the Drawtober music even too. It's just like, it's fun because it's like, oh my god, this came out of my own mind. This is something that like, I don't necessarily know the origins of where it came from, but for some reason I like the sound of it. So I'm sure for art even too, when you create something that is purely from your own mind, there's that excitement of like, oh my god, this is purely me.
Well, that's what I was mentioning earlier about like being in love with my imagination. It's because you take that journey and sometimes you surprise yourself on where that journey takes you, and you're like, I didn't even know I had this in me. And I think artists feel that from time to time, and I'm sure you feel that even when you create piano stuff. It's like when you come to a result, you're like, oh, here he is.
Look who's here.
The man himself.
Casper.
The man, the myth, the legend. Casper.
Casper, you're to study today. Do you know that?
Casper, I'm literally drawing you right now.
I have no idea. Oh, you're attacking my feet. Get him, Casper, get him. Let's see where we're at in these. Kitten Island says, I don't know, when it comes to art and striving to better yourself, I don't feel rudeness is an applicable aspect personally.
I guess that's where we could agree to disagree. I know that sounds harsh, but like my art teacher in high school was super harsh with me to the point where it was like borderline insulting constantly. She would just tell me straight up to my face, like, this is really bad. What are you, a photocopy machine? Like, if I wanted a actual replica of it, I would just take a picture. I don't need you doing that for me. So like she was so blunt and rude that I feel like I didn't realize how much that helped me in the long run, though, because it really made me look at my art in a way that was more constructive and critical. And I feel like a lot of that has been missing in the art world, where I talk to artists all the time, especially at cons, and especially the ones that are struggling with social media. I feel for them, but then they'll show me their art, and it becomes very clear to me that they probably have never actually gotten constructive feedback before. And it's a lot of like pat on the back and good job. And I think of that movie Whiplash with the quote that is like the worst thing you could possibly say in the English language is good job. And I think that movie takes it too far. That's like, if you see the extreme of being overly critical, like that's not good either. But I do think it is valid that like when I see something that I think could be corrected, and if someone's like, oh, good job, I don't want to take that personally. And like, you don't have to if you feel, differently about it. But I know in my experience, I actually prefer when people tell me when things look off. And a lot of my friend group now, like Alex and Babs and Dustin, and when they give me feedback, they don't have to like compliment sandwich anymore. They just go to the meat. They skip the loaf soft bread and they just tell me what they think looks bad. And I think I have what's that called? Condition myself to respond better to valid critique than a compliment that doesn't feel like it has much weight to it.
Oscar says, so we're down to like about 2 minutes left.
Oh, jeez.
Oscar says, I feel like I'm the value and crop method. I feel like the value and crop method would be great for landscapes. Oh, this is from earlier. But I'm going to try that for other things too. So next question, how do I best transfer a pencil drawing over to digital? I'm considering getting a scanner at least.
Yeah, definitely scan it. Try to do a high DPI. I mean, 300 is definitely recommended, but I always do 600. And then when bringing it into Photoshop, usually you just turn that layer to a multiply layer, and then you can color right under it if you want. Or you can like change the opacity of the layer so you can kind of draw over it and then use your pencil drawing as a base or like underdrawing. That's how I would do it personally. But yes, get a good scanner, because graphite can be sometimes difficult to scan because it can be shiny under certain scanning lights, and that can totally ruin and distort the values and what you created in your drawing.
Going back though to your previous thing though, I think you found a group of friends that you all know that you each trust your own work enough to be like, okay, objectively I know I can draw things. So you're past that level where like you have to give a surface level compliment. So you guys just want to hear of how can I improve on what I'm doing then. And like you found a group of friends that you all can do that with each other, which is like really works for all of you, because you're confident enough to know you have the base skills. You want to start improving on those now in all the different aspects of what you're doing.
And yeah, like I said, if I was in a public setting, like at a con or something, and someone was complimenting me, I probably wouldn't be as like direct of like, oh, no, this doesn't look good, blah, blah. But I think on a live stream, like I feel this weird connection with a lot of you where it'd feel inauthentic if I just was like, oh yeah, these cat drawings are great. Like, I'm so proud of myself today. Thank you. Yes, I definitely think I am really killing it.
I mean, also, I love these streams because we're literally drawing cats right now and we're having this discussion.
Well, this is what, I mean, I'm so passionate about the art community and artists and what we do that I really want to facilitate more of like the honesty behind a lot of not only what I create, but I think of what a lot of artists maybe want to hear. And I think me as a younger, sorry, I know I could easily talk about this for a while, but when I think of
she's
oh
so
no, sleeping
cute.
One. When I think of how I personally got better with drawing and how a lot of my friends got better with drawing, it was a lot of more constructive, borderline rude, critical comments toward our work. And if you take a moment to reflect on why those might be valid, instead of just getting defensive or immediately triggered by it, I think this is a way where you can separate your art being emotionally attached, or like you being emotionally attached to it, and looking at it from a more objective base. And I try to do that with a lot of my art. And I think that's why when I am like, oh no, this doesn't look good, because in my mind, I am not emotionally attached to it. So objectively, I can say, no, this is a little off with this. Proportion here is slightly incorrect. Oh, hi, Casper.
Hi, Casper.
Hi. You want me to open the window for you?
Yeah, I think motorcycle's gone now.
So here's the baby.
Hi, Casper.
Hi.
Good to see you.
I like to load them up like a shotgun.
His face will like, and Houchi W Kanui, thank you so much.
Oh, he's such a beautiful baby.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy
Thank you
your
for
window.
subscribing. And all right,
Ready for number 9?
Tigil got number 9 up. Thank you, Tigil. All right, pencils. I guess I should say tools at the ready because I don't know what everyone's using. Tools at the ready. And begin in 3, 2, and 1. Begin.
I think this is the last hard one. I think the next one's pretty easy.
All right, I know I keep saying this, but I wish YouTube would stop the auto scroll down thing because I have it saved to a spot I was reading at, and it just pushes it all the way down.
What are people saying? Because I see the chat going.
Oh, the chat is going. Here we go. Felix says, Witch Hat Atelier is amazing. I'm typically sort of too lazy to read manga and wait for the anime instead, but Atelier is just too great.
And the art style is phenomenal.
Felix also says, I just can't wrap my head around the fact that I cannot read today. I just can't wrap my head.
Go slower. Just go slower.
Okay. I just can't wrap my head around that the artist hand inks like 800 drawings in 6 months.
I know. The more you think about it, the more it makes you like, wow, I'm doing bare minimum over here. These manga artists are literally doing like 10 times the amount of work.
Are they given the text beforehand so they know?
I'm pretty sure the artist of Witch Hat wrote it as well.
Okay. Oh, that helps then at least.
Well, yeah, but then you also have to write the story.
Oh, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, if you don't know what's going on, I'm guessing they give them, like, the text for that scene. Is that how Berserk is, too? Was it?
No, I think he also wrote
He wrote it? Oh, my God.
I think a lot of them do, to be honest. Actually, I think it would be more rare the other way, unless if it was, like, a big series one, like One Piece or Naruto or something. Like, maybe that has multiple artists.
Oscar says, to clarify the question, how do I improve upon a pencil drawing digitally?
How do I improve upon a pencil drawing digitally? I guess it depends on what you want your end result to be. If you want it to feel more traditional, then yeah, you would have to take a few different routes. But if you want it to be like the underdrawing for digital, or are you just saying like you want to scan it and then make that drawing better without like doing painting on top of it? If that's the question, I think like using your levels, making sure the contrast is right, and if you need to go in and clean up like some of your eraser marks or something, try to keep it as close to that paper texture as you can. But I think you might have to clarify the question a bit more for me.
I feel like that's something you definitely could probably do a video on sometime too.
I had one. I did my swordplay. I did like a comic page, and I showed how I take it from pencil.
Like scan it and then... Okay.
But I probably could do a much simpler one so they don't have to go through all that.
Let's see. Ella says, but your drawings aren't the same as a burnt cake, because a burnt cake as a drawing would be someone drawing a cat, and you can barely see that it is. Okay.
Speak slow.
I don't know why I cannot. Yeah. Okay. But your drawings aren't the same as a burnt cake, because a burnt cake as a drawing would be someone drawing a cat, and you can barely see that it is a cat. I'm not saying your drawings are perfect or that being critical to your art is bad. Being critical helps you improve a lot. While calling your drawings burnt cake can sound discouraging for artists that haven't come as far as you.
Ooh. It's hard for me to have this conversation publicly. I think for the sake of it being a public discussion and me being a public figure doing YouTube, yes, you are correct in that way. But if we were being like the nitty gritty and I was having this conversation with my friends, and if they complimented me on something and I said it looks bad and then they felt a certain way about it, in a way that's kind of on them and their feelings about where they're at compared to me and what I'm creating and how I'm feeling about my work. But that, I would say that's not fair then for me to not be able to be self-critical of my work, because then I have to be aware of the sensitivities of everyone that I'm talking with. And obviously you are correct though, for YouTube and like live things, I should be a little more careful with how I talk about my work, especially when I'm not vibing with it that much. But if I was with my friends, which I try to treat, YouTube and being live in this manner, I feel like I shouldn't have to worry if someone is going to feel offended if I don't like what I'm drawing. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but I do understand where you're coming from as well, and that's why I don't want to sound insensitive to that. But in a lot of ways, I I don't want to feel like I have to censor how I feel about my drawings because I'm worried about it making someone else feel worse about their stuff. Because if I had to stop being genuine on how I feel about my art, I feel like I probably shouldn't be doing YouTube at all then. Because then it's like, am I just being an entertainer? Am I just, like, what's the point? If I'm going to be like a true educator and someone that is trying to lead this art community in a direction away from just fast art and spit painting things and trying to get creations out just for the sake of gains on social media, whether it's likes or shares or whatever it is, I feel like I have to talk about my art in a way that is honest. But it's weird because, like you said, I keep going back and forth in my head because what you said is also correct, though. And yeah, younger artists would feel worse. But like if I had one of my heroes like Alan Williams, if I was watching him do a stream and when even if I thought it was really good, if he talked about how he thought it was like horrible and he could do so much better, for me, I would see that as a learning experience. Like, what is he seeing that I'm not seeing? And then try to view it in that manner rather than being like, oh, well, if he thinks his is bad, I'm just horrible. And
it's almost like a jump start because if you're at a level maybe lower than that person, like Alan Williams, you would say that he's above you in terms of like skills and stuff. So for you, it would be almost like a jump start because you know, hey, when I'm at a point where I feel close to where he's at right now, I'll know what to be looking for that he's doing.
Yeah.
So that way, then you're almost like skipping a step that he had to go through. I don't know. I mean, that's how I think everything improves because then when you're at that point, you're gonna start noticing things that maybe this will look better. You're already not worried about the things he's doing at that point. You're gonna be focusing on other things then. If
And
that's making sense, I don't know. I think that's how things always improve over time is because we're constantly in a critical form, I guess.
Well, and like I can look at Alan Williams, and I know technically he's a better artist than I am. And when I look at what he does, I'm so inspired and so like intrigued. So if he was to down talk what he's doing or talk about why it doesn't look good, I wouldn't immediately think, oh, he would then view my art worse because he saw something in his own drawing that he didn't care for. Because like I can look at other people's drawing and with way different styles, and I'm not going to judge them the same way I would judge my own work. I would look at their work and try to see where they're coming from and what story they're trying to tell and view it that way. And then if they ask me for a critique, I would try to give a valid critique that would hopefully improve upon where they're already at. And if they were saying, oh, I really don't like how I did this thing here, even if they were drawing cats, because like admittedly I'm not the best at drawing animals, I'm still learning how to draw animals. If someone that I thought was really good at drawing animals was looking at their drawing and like on a YouTube saying, oh man, this cat looks terrible, I can do so much better, I would look at it, even if it was a better cat than I could ever draw, I wouldn't take it personally of like, oh, I'm even worse at drawing cats. It's like someone who a lot of people look at being good at drawing cats is being critical of their work. Why are they viewing it that way, and what can I take away from that to apply to my own drawings and experience? I mean, this is such a good discussion to have, and I'm kind of glad we're having this one. I mean, horrible for me being able to focus on doing cat studies, but I think this is like a really good, valid discussion within the art community because I've had it with my own friends too. And there is a difference between not being able to accept a compliment ever and always deflecting and doing kind of like what I'm saying where it's like if I don't really like what I'm doing, it's hard for me to hear it. But if I genuinely am actually proud of what I'm doing, I can take a compliment and be like, hey, thank you, and then leave it at that. Oh, Jesus. I barely got anything on that.
I'm jumping some comments, but it's because it's relevant. And then this next round, I'm gonna try to like speed run through some comments, guys, just so I can get caught up for the end of the stream. Because usually when Tim's critiquing, we're not really looking at chat much. So Ella says, "I'm all here for constructive criticism. I think enlightening us on what went wrong with the burnt cake could lead to a better discussion."
You know what? That's it there. I guess I should be more vocal about what. You know what? I think that's, yeah. See, now we're finding that middle ground in the discussion. If I'm going to say that I don't like my art or like it looks like hot garbage, then should follow up with say what I could have improved upon better, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Okay, I guess I'll leave that one as there.
All right. Oh, thank you, Allison. I can do that quick too if you
All
want.
right, yeah. Ooh, one more, everyone. This is it.
This is it. This is it. Oh, Casper. Oh my goodness.
He's looking. He's like, what?
He's like, what? Yeah. What up, man?
All right, so this one, once again, kind of a side profile. The cat's slightly 3/4. It's like right in between. And this one should be a slightly easier one.
Hang on, just waiting up on Tigel.
And I shouldn't say easier as like, oh, if you don't do this well, you're terrible.
No, Tim's like, oh my god.
Well, I guess I have to clarify. Easier in the sense of usually profiles are easier for artists to draw than straight-on shots because there's more of a symmetry that you have to try to capture. You know what, Ella? Actually, I feel like this did kind of enlighten me on when I'd say things, I should follow up with my reasoning, especially if I feel like there is a reasoning behind what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, I feel like profiles tend to be easier for artists to draw. And you don't have to focus on symmetry as much, so you can focus on each individual part really, or like letting each part. Oh my gosh, you're typing, it's distracting me.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize.
You have such loud keys. You sound like a nail clicker behind a receptionist desk.
When I type, though, I do have a habit of, like, I kind of get my knuckle bent, and then I do, like,
You do your nails?
I usually use my nail. I think it's like, weirdly, because it's how I do piano, too. I kind of just clink my nails. I know you're supposed to trim them, but...
Yeah, I was like, why was that so loud?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, this one, try to focus more on the shapes, and if you don't want to draw the body going back in the receding area, don't feel like you have to. If you want to focus more on the head and then kind of bring it down into the neck and the arms, but it's up to you. And then yes, he does have another ear. It's a little lost in that value back there, but it is there if you look close enough. All right, ready for our last one?
All right. Tools at the ready. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right. We're going to do some major catch-up, though, in comments. Try to keep your comments on the comments to, like, maybe, like, a minimum, like 30 seconds, maybe. Let's just do brief, All right. Here we go. I have to find where we're at.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Dead silence.
Dead silence, okay. I'm trying to work on that. All right, so we're back to our AI discussion, because we kind of had two things going on there for a bit.
Oh, yes.
Felix says, I'm getting kind of tired by the look. I'm getting kind of tired by the AI look already. Using it as a reference is fine, but even then there are specific composition tricks that scream AI to me now. And then Ella says, same Felix, I feel like it has a very specific kind of look to it, and it's getting old fast. And then I know they will improve AI right now, but right now I'm kind of tired of seeing it. I mean, yeah, even the faces, they're really improving already, which is crazy.
I do agree with both of what you're saying. I think even within my own friend pool, we're already kind of like over it because you can pretty much distinguish now when something's done in AI. Even if they paint over like sections of it, it's this texture that's very obviously AI still. All right, next.
All right, next.
Told you I was going to keep it short and sweet.
I know, I kind of like go into like zone out mode for a second sometimes.
Oh.
Like, oh, strapping up for Tim's. No, I love that you can rant. All right. Oscar says, AI will keep improving. I'm going to become a concept artist thanks to AI. I'm also going to be able to illustrate my book thanks to AI. And obviously getting better at art in general. So will always come across.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's another tool in someone's wheelhouse of what they're able to use to create art with. And I think some people will use it for good. And I think, Oscar, you're finding that happy medium where, like, you're not just solely relying on it entirely. I mean, who knows? Maybe that will take a darker turn down the line. I feel like with any tool that you work with, you got to make sure that you're working it and it's not working you, if you know what I mean. And I've seen some artists like really find a surge of life again in their work and what they do because of AI, and that can be really encouraging, obviously, and inspiring. But currently, for me, in the way that I look at AI, I think it can be heading in a bad direction because I'm already seeing some people just rely on it too heavily, where they're not really putting their own voice into what they're creating anymore, and it's just creating kind of these hollow, void, soulless looking pieces. And I, I think me being such a adamant, passionate defender of what I think art can be for all of us, seeing art that just feels soulless, it like kills me. But that's not all of them. I've seen some that actually feel like there was intent behind it, and I don't want to just blanket statement anything either. But I will say, as of right now, I feel like a lot of AI art that I see, it does feel like it's because a lot of people just want to get ahead quickly, at least with the artists that I'm seeing. And I personally never saw art as like something I need to get through quickly. Like that was never my goal. The goal was usually, especially when I was growing up before social media or before it became like my business, it was always like, oh, how cool would it be if I created this? And like that was my intention setting into the drawing. And I think a lot of AI artists right now that are, or not, or people that are using AI with their work, I don't think a lot of their goals have that same moral fiber or coding behind it. And they're literally like, I just want to create as much as I can to gain popularity on social media. And in some ways, it does feel like they're tricking people. And then once people find out, I mean, if you look at the comment sections on some of these artist pages that rely on AI art, some people get really upset and kind of aggressive.
A little too aggressive.
A little too aggressive.
I understand where it's coming from, I guess.
I think because when someone feels like they've been lied to or cheated or tricked, yeah, obviously that never feels good. And unfortunately, a lot of AI art still kind of feels that way. And honestly, all an artist has to do is put in their description of the piece that it was AI collabed or whatever it was, made with Midjourney, whatever it was. And they could avoid themselves the headache of having to either mute or aggressively delete comments on their postings.
I will say if you find an account and you hate it that they're doing it, just unfollow them. Don't leave a comment.
It's not worth it.
It's not. If anything, it inflames them more to do it because they're going to be like, well, F that person. Just leave it. Move on.
You know what's funny is someone actually messaged me on Instagram after watching my YouTube video, and they were sending me screenshots of an artist that was clearly using AI but was not tagging it in their description.
Yeah.
And this artist was furious. Oh. And they were messaging me, be like, what do you think of this? And blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and what's weird is I actually do agree with them. I think they should be tagging that it was made with Midjourney. But I think it's very easy for me to not focus on it as much because then I can move on and just focus on my own work, which I think at the end of the day should be the focus. Is you should always focus on what you're doing more so than what other people are doing.
4 minutes?
Oh, no.
Here, I'm going to read another comment, though.
Okay.
All right, I love you. I think Felix says, I think becoming a legit artist is actually becoming rare nowadays. People have shorter attention spans, and actually putting in the work is a rare trait now. So if you are someone that really applies themselves to art and studies anatomy, light, etc., you will have a huge advantage over almost everyone else that was too lazy to do that.
Oof. Oof. The big L word. That's definitely, me and my friends have had this discussion, and that word was definitely an incendiary word that got the chat going. Because I guess that is a discussion. How do you guys feel about it? Do you feel like if someone relies too heavily on AI art right now, especially if they're already an established artist and like switch to using AI art posting more, do you feel like it's out of laziness? I'm actually like genuinely curious what you guys think.
I mean, that's even bigger discussion though, because I think a lot of our conveniences nowadays are laziness. Computers, I mean, everything. Refrigerators. I know it's like convenience, but all those things stem from a form of laziness of like, I want something to be done easier for me. Literally everything we have nowadays is like stem from a form of
you're
laziness
using things that are
we
not
created.
Hold on. You're using
Okay.
things that are not trades though. These are
I
not like
guess.
skill sets. It's like a fridge. Like imagine if a carpenter was able to hire a robot to build the wall for him.
Well, yeah, but there was people that had to build cellars at one time purely so people could have a place to store their food.
Well, part of
Like,
where the discussion
It was a trade, but it
Hold
isn't anymore.
on. Part of the
You
discussion.
talk all the time, and I talk for 1 second, and you're like, boy.
Well, because I wasn't done with my point yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So, like, I think one day there will be robots that build walls for us, and the reason why.
Well, sorry. Okay.
You see, you keep interrupting.
The robots are made to build walls.
Yes, there will be.
Okay.
I genuinely believe there will be robots someday. Like we won't need carpenters as much. We'll just program bots essentially to build homes for us.
Oh, like a home. Okay.
Anyways,
I thought specifically just a wall.
Well, that's part of the making the home, yes.
Okay.
But anyways, the reason I feel like that's different than art making is because it doesn't have any subjective and like personal inputs. Like building a house, yeah, you can have a house that has character, but usually that's put in with like the architect phase, you know?
Yeah.
So the actual building it, you could say, is a soulless thing because you could have a robot do the building of a wall and it would be the same every time. And usually what a carpenter will try to do is replicate the same every time. But as an artist, we try to create things that are like pulling for personal experiences and they should be different every time. And why I think AI art can't replicate that is because it's not living a life. And I guess someone would argue, yeah, but the inputs will be different based on what the artist is inputting. But I think that's the difference right there is kind of like what was it, Ella that said it?
Yeah.
I think the artists that are taking the time and to really value their skill set, I think there will always be a job or Felix. I think there will always be a job for those type of people because it will become more of a rarity and more of like this, not oddity. I don't know why that word came to my mind.
30 seconds.
Oh no. Okay, you can keep going.
Okay.
You guys get what I mean though.
Yes. Okay, Jen says, I think there's an alarming amount of people who use art but who don't care or understand it. That could cause problems because someone like that could actually lead a project using art.
Using AI art? Or what do they mean?
I think just art. I think Jen's saying, I think there's an alarming amount of people who use... Yeah, I think just art in general, Jen's saying too. Which I get the point.
Yeah, look at all like the blockbusters nowadays or like Disney cash sellouts that come out and they just feel hollow. And yeah, there's a lot of talented artists working on it, but unfortunately they don't really have a say in the story or the beats or even some of the visual.
Oh my god. Oh, thanks, Ella. Chat 69 was here.
Oh, jeez.
Saving that for later.
All right. Let me just add this people in really quick. Okay, and I guess if you are a YouTube member here or if you're one of my Patreon backers, if you want to submit to the Discord your drawings, and you can still submit if you're not as well, but I think I'm going to share those who are as we end off the stream today.
All right, I'm just going to speed run through some of these because everyone has really good points and I want to make sure no one gets left out. So sorry we can have a full discussion around some of these, but I think at least get them out there. Oscar says, AI today is just an introduction to what it will eventually be able to do for you. It will very soon be the equivalency of magic, the process of imagination to paper finished product. It is just going to be so much faster and efficient.
I mean, oh man, we could get into so many discussions with this.
I feel like this is something almost we should like bookmark and maybe, I don't know if we start.
Well, okay, let me say this to it. Because I will say being at cons, and this year has been different because obviously AI art has become popular enough where the general public not only knows about it, but it's like widely seen. And I'm noticing where people put value when it comes to art. If someone came up to my booth, and I've seen this happen with one of our friends, Boyke, where if someone thinks it's AI generated, they'll ask him if they find out it is, they might walk away from the sale because they don't put value in someone who just creates things through AI art generators. And a lot of now people are coming up to me asking if what medium is this, even though before it would be very obvious that it was pencil, but nowadays, I mean, there are some brushes in Procreate and Photoshop that look like pencil, and the way you're able to do filters and overlays where you can easily add a dust filter and a paper texture. But as soon as I tell them it's all done traditionally with graphite, their eyes like light up, and you can just tell they're like way more invested than if I would have said it's digital. And this isn't meant to like harp on AI artists or like people that want to use it more, but I will say that has been my experience with it and seeing people that I don't know and their reactions to it. And that's why I think over time, if you do traditional art specifically, or if you do your digital art by hand and you're not incorporating like photos or AI stuff, I think people will value that more and more as time goes by. That doesn't mean that everyone will, and there will be people that just want a pretty picture on their wall. And yeah, AI can definitely give that and service that for people. But I think a lot of the times when people follow an artist, it's because they follow that person almost more so than what they create. But yes.
Okay. Can I just please read a couple of these really quick then?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to skip some of these. Everyone, I'm sorry. I thought Tigil wrote something really sweet, though. Let's see. Tigil says, "This will come out of nowhere, Tim, but I want to thank you for creating this environment where we can have these discussions. This art community really made my life so much better.
Oh.
I can still see little Tigil already having these thoughts and discussions with myself and having no one to share them with, and now I do, so thank you."
Oh,
That's very sweet.
Well, thank you, Tigil. I mean, you have always been such a pleasure to be around. You're such a good person, and I always get excited when I see your name come up on the stream.
Yeah, I think everyone here it's really fun. Even me not being an artist, y'all make me feel welcome. I have a lot of fun with you. I enjoy these discussions a lot. And even if some of us disagree on things, just know that we still love you. We want you here. It's like, I think it's good to have discussions with each other and have a community that we can be honest with each other.
I don't think it would be an actual community if we didn't have disagreements or had viewpoints that were different from one another, you know? And I think having, like, today was a great discussion because I did learn something, even from Ella, and even though we disagreed with each other initially, it was, okay, we found that middle ground of if I say something critical about my own work, I have to follow up, so it becomes a learning opportunity for those watching on why I feel like it could be improved upon. And that's a great point.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, you can keep
on. Actually, Oscar just wrote something here. Final thing on AI. When I'm talking AI and its use, I'm talking way bigger scope than a piece of art. I'm talking a full illustrated novel or an animated movie or things like that. No single person could do today alone.
Oh, is this Oscar?
Yeah, which I completely get. I think
agreed.
With how society is nowadays, you can't just sit down and like commit an entire year or 2 years or beyond that even to like this big project alone. Like, I'm sure even for Berserk at the time, it probably was a little easier, or funding was like, you didn't need as much at that time. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that necessarily. Yeah. But I will say I'm so down to be on the ride. Like, even though I have like no real use of incorporating AI into my own work besides maybe like an inspiration generator, I am so excited to see where things go, because I agree, like, we could have entire movies that are like super psychedelic and it's like moving through the imagery, and I'm curious to see what happens in the future with it. And just, if you ever feel like threatened by AI, just know if you stay true to what you're creating and what you're doing, people will respond to that. Even if you're a digital artist whose work may look similar to AI generated stuff, if you can still say confidently, like, no, I created this without the use of it and I'm passionate about what I'm creating, people will respond to that.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. R2D3 says, "I'm here to see Cat is their cat."
Ah!
Cat was here a little bit ago. Cat has left.
Oh.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, who knows?
They're
He's
probably by the
wandering.
back door. All right.
But today was challenging. I don't know how you guys felt about it. I rarely draw animals, so for me this was a good practice in drawing cats, especially with Drawtober coming out, and I definitely have to draw a cat a couple times. I won't say why, but I'm learning that their body structures are new to me when drawing them and capturing their form. So I'm still figuring out how to draw it quickly while not losing quality.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll let you do the switch around.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, you're right. No, the name doesn't appear orange. Because I think Felix is a backer. You know what? For today, we'll just share all of them. Because there's two that are on... Oh, wow.
Wishy, you're being so hard on yourself.
Is this one?
Yeah.
Wait, let me switch to Cintiq really quick. Turn off that. Okay. These are wonderful. Let me pull this down. You know what? I'm going to actually make a new file. Let's do 12 by 10. And then I'm going to pull people's images into this, so that's easier to see. There's a lot of great things with some of the areas going on. I think especially with this bottom left one, there's a lot of strength. I feel that structure, and you did a great job at placing the details where it mattered most in the face, and having the rest of it kind of be implied was really smart. The sleeping one, I think you did a great job with proportions there. Gosh, even this top left one being the start.
I can tell that the bottom left corner I love. Like, if we weren't doing this, but I just saw that in drawing randomly, I would have known that was Astrid. It's just her little features.
Well, I think you also did a great job at capturing the walking pose. I feel like I can feel the underlying anatomy structure on this one. I don't know if you've drawn animals before, but I get the impression from this that you have. And it speaks volumes in that one. I mean, even this one is so strong. I feel like you're very confident with laying down your proportions, and you're not afraid to have the camera zoom in and have the head be bigger, and then when the camera zoomed out, you make the head smaller to fit the accuracy. Yeah, I think this one is an LOL moment. But Casper sometimes does look like that. Overall, though, I think these are wonderful. I think maybe the face on here looks a little too much like a dog, like a Shiba Inu. But I think in some of them, you captured the look so well. Yeah, so great job. I think this is like a perfect example of capturing like gestural cat drawings and having them read very well.
Demon Keeper's asking, I don't have Discord. Is there a place to share it? I have Instagram, a hashtag maybe. We might not be able to do it on the stream, but maybe we can just use, here, I'll post. I was thinking like vonnart stream cats as a hashtag.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be able to find it.
Yeah, we
Or
might
like
not be able
vonnart
to...
live streams, just hashtag that and I'll find it.
Okay.
This is from Felix, that I went a bit slower and more detailed, so I only finished 3. I tried to exaggerate the angles a bit and try to get the texture of the fur right. I wasted a lot of time on Lily's fur pattern, though. So your cat looks beautiful. When it comes to the 2 Astrids that you drew, I think you did an excellent job with capturing the likeness of Astrid. And with proportions, I think you did a really good job at making it all feel accurate. And even with the fur texture on her laying down, it's longer and more like wild in the areas where it's like scrunched and pushed in the belly area. Yeah, I think you did a really good job with these.
My little Astrid, look at her.
When it comes to like capturing these gesture studies, I think having that more fluid motion, kind of like with these, I think these are so good in like capturing the shape and the form, where I feel like you're trying to capture more of like the details, and I think you did a good job with it. And even like the pink around her lip, I think you did a good job with capturing color.
Her little lipstick.
Yeah, a little lipstick. So good job, Felix. let's see, Barbara.
Barbara. Ooh.
Barbara, I feel like you and I are in the same boat. Where I think even with like our values, we're softening them because we're like, I don't know what to do with these harder values. Especially Casper being all black and like us being primarily graphite artists. It's like, how do I show contrast or how do I show these details? But I think you did a good job with capturing, once again, all three of you that submitted, I think all of you did such a good job with proportioning. They all feel like cats. I know how silly that sounds, but it's not easy to capture animals' likeness. I think cats can very easily look like dogs or like bigger cats, like a panther or a lion or something. And I think these all feel like cats. I think you and I had that same thing of like capturing some of the lines and trying to figure out the edges, where I think I did the same thing too, where it's a little chicken scratchy on some of the edges, especially with like the humps. So I feel your pain on some of these because I feel like I was in the same boat. I think where your confidence shines through though is when you added some of those darker corner areas. That's when I could see more of your like skill set come through. And where it's a little lighter, I can still see you being a little hesitant, and I was doing the same thing. So you and I, same boat. But I really liked when I started to see more of the stronger lines come out, because I think you found your stride, and it feels like the back half feels stronger than the first half. So yeah, overall, these were wonderful. Your submissions were, a few of you definitely way better than I did. So well done. And yeah, we'll definitely do more studies like this in the future. I think, wait, where's OBS? There it is.
There it is, yeah.
Turn that back on. There we go. Yeah, because I think with studies like this, I think they're good exercises to have your mind keep training itself in drawing, because sometimes if we draw the same subject matter over and over and over again, I think we lose value in what we're capable of creating because we're so stuck in that safety zone. And I think for me personally, I've always wanted to get a little better at drawing animals and with environments, so the only way I'm going to get better at it is if I keep drawing it. So I might as well do it with you guys and have this be like a collective learning experience. Okay, well that's all we have for today. Just a reminder, we do have the Doro Hedoro prints going live tomorrow on the vonnart.net website, and they'll be live at 5 p.m. Central Time and only available for 48 hours, and then we're never selling these again. And then we will be gone next week at DragonCon, so we will be returning the following week, and we'll do a foliage study, like a plant one.
We
so
should be... Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
Get better at drawing plants, you should join for that one.
Because it'll be good for September. Because we're home up until the last week, right? So,
yeah, I think so.
We'll have more consistent streams again.
Yeah. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming to these. These are always fun for me to do, and I love the discussions that we have all together. And thank you, Josh, for moderating, as always.
Oh, of course. Anytime.
And hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
And I guess, yeah, if you want to keep the conversation going, we have our Discord that you can join below for free.
Oh, yeah. And then Demon Keeper will keep an eye out on Instagram for yours, too, using that hashtag. You can even tag at Flash Delirium and then at vonnart.
Mm-hmm. And then, as always, if before you leave, you could just give the video a like. It helps with the algorithm. You know, you gotta say it. Okay. Anyways, take care, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.